This is about that cop that stood around, didn't help for over an hour at that Parkland shooting. Well, guess what? We got a jury verdict. This is going to make you drop your jaw and make you pissed.
I believe law enforcement officers have a tough job. I know most of them are dedicated. But clearly, when it came time, Deputy Peterson turned tail and ran.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Yeah, Deputy Peterson didn't even walk in. He was a coward. He was chicken shit. He did nothing. It's like those youth valley cops did nothing. Not guilty. Scott Peterson.
Former school resource officer Scot Peterson breaking down in the courtroom as he listened to a Florida jury acquit him on all counts of negligence.
Got my life back. We got our life back after 4.5 years.
Prosecutors argued Peterson should be held accountable for staying back more than 45 minutes.
He stands there with the knowledge of a 28-year deputy assigned to protecting children, knowing that the number one goal in that moment is move towards the sounds of gunfire.
Peterson did not take the stand, but his lawyer said his client didn't know where the shots were coming from.
He stands there, vulnerable as you can be, risking his life, and gets on the radio and yells shots fired, because every second does matter.
I think I'm going to be sick.
But tonight, families forever tied to the Parkland tragedy aren't letting Peterson off the hook.
I believe law enforcement officers have a tough job. I know most of them are dedicated. But clearly, when it came time, Deputy Peterson turned tail and ran.
But a jury disagrees, and Peterson has said he'll be haunted by that day for the rest of his life.
All right. We got some more on that. This time we got it from Brian's perspective on Here's the Deal. Check it out.
Cry all you want, Scott. Everybody still thinks you're a coward.
We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant
Everybody
in this
knows
case.
that Scott
The defendant
Peterson's
is
a
not
fucking
guilty.
coward. Everybody knows that those
Scott Peterson, a former resource officer for the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, during the reported 2018 mass shooting, was just found guilty on all charges related to his actions, or is that inaction, while the shooter was shooting. Basically, Scott here had one job: protect the children. Or was that his job? Even regular street cops have no obligation or mandate to protect anybody in the public. And most Americans are blissfully unaware that the court rulings in DeShaney versus Winnebago County and Gonzalez versus Castle Rock, Colorado, bear this out. Cops are not obligated to protect you.
But they will take your money like their lives depended on it.
In the Gonzalez...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No, cops are not obligated. They don't care about protecting your life or your next door neighbor. No, but they'll extort you. Yeah, and they'll make arrests just to make a bigger paycheck. They'll kidnap and rape your children. What's the end goal for the cops? To go home to the families.
Case, the court ruled 7-2 that a town and its police department could not be sued under 42 U.S.C. 1983 for failing to enforce a restraining order which had led to the murders of a woman's 3 children by her estranged husband. The decision has since become infamous and is condemned by many human rights groups, but it still stands. In DeShaney, the Supreme Court held that a state government agency's failure to prevent child abuse by a custodial parent does not violate the child's right to liberty for the purposes of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Consistent with those two cases, in Warren versus District of Columbia, the District of Columbia Court of Appeals held that the police do not owe a specific duty to provide police services to specific citizens based on the public duty doctrine. The court contended that no special relationship existed between the police and the appellants, and therefore no specific legal duty existed between the police and the appellants. So according to the courts, if you're not in police custody, they have no obligation to protect you. And as we've seen in video after video.
Well, that's just it. Police don't care. You know, unless it's like, you know, immediate danger like that. But other than that, police don't care to protect the citizens or civilians or people out there. No, they rather protect themselves and their pocketbook before they go out protecting you and your next door neighbor.
Even if you are in police custody, they don't take your protection very seriously at all, and will actually put your life in jeopardy. Look at this bozo standing around just watching this guy get abused.
I gotta do what's best for my fellow Thin Blue Line gang members. I mean, police department brotherhood. Hey, any of you guys know what
Yeah, look at that douchebag kid now. Look at that. Hey, look at me. I'm Big Fat fucking Bubba. Look at my blue cool uniform, my nifty badge. Yep. Hey, I'm getting paid by taxpayer dollars and doing nothing. Hey guys, let me. Do you guys need me? No, go. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and jack up to a 10-year-old girl.
time the donut shop opens?
They'll leave you in a hot car on a sweltering day, or just leave you sitting cuffed in the back of a police vehicle on the railroad tracks while the train's coming.
And that's the thing. Those cops had no disregard. They were more trying to get her like that. They didn't know. They had no idea. They disregarded the fact they were parked on train tracks and the new train was coming.
Not only that, as we've learned in the past, cops are permitted to kill hostages if they believe the public or police lives are in jeopardy. The jury reached the verdict on all 11 counts that Peterson was facing after deliberating for about 19 hours spanning 4 days.
Overcome with emotion, Peterson shared his message to the loved ones of the Parkland victims.
I'll always be there. If they need to really know the truth of what occurred, and not only my actions, but what occurred, I'm there for them.
So what did Peterson mean when he mentioned the truth? We caught up with his attorney, Mark Eiglarsh, and asked.
The truth is that Scott did every single thing that he could to the best of his abilities with the limit.
Are you going to sit there saying, and the same token of breath, that those Uvalde cops did everything in their power? Are you going to sit there and say the Uvalde police officers are heroes like Mr. Brandon Tatum has said? No, they're not.
Information that he had to try to help the people of that school that he served honorably for 32 years.
Peterson had received widespread criticism over not confronting the shooter, Nicholas Cruz, during the 6-minute rampage that reportedly killed 17 and injured more than a dozen others. Peterson was charged with child neglect, culpable negligence, and perjury. He could have faced years in prison and lost his pension if he was found guilty. He openly wept as the not guilty verdict was read out and hugged his family and friends after the court adjourned.
Yeah, because he gets to keep his pension, he gets his livelihood back, he doesn't have to face a single day behind bars. He gets to go about his own day and his own life. While those fucking 17 children in the Parkland shit are dead.
Got my life back. The only person to blame was that monster.
Prosecutors called students, teachers, and law enforcement officials to testify over the course of 2 weeks about their experience and observations that day. Some said they knew the shots were coming from the 3-story classroom building, and a supervisor testified that Peterson did not follow protocols for an active shooter situation. Peterson's attorney argued that his client was not sure where the shots were being fired because of echoes from the gunfire. Several deputies, students, and teachers testified that they did not think the shots were being fired from the 1200 building. The attorney also noted that the sheriff's radio system failed and limited what Peterson heard from other officers who were arriving on the scene.
Many Parkland parents disgusted with the verdict, calling Peterson a coward.
Keep your mouth shut, get in your car, and go to your perfect life.
For our families, we still feel he should be haunted every day by his failure to act.
All the evidence, all the video, it just shows that he valued his life over the life of the people on the 3rd floor.
Security video shows Peterson left his office about 100 yards from the 1200 building about a half a minute before the shooting began and arrived at the building with 2 unarmed civilian security guards a minute later. Peterson arrived at the east doorway to the hallway on the first floor, while Cruz was at the opposite end of the hallway, armed with an AR-15 style rifle, they say. Peterson took cover in the alcove of a nearby building with his gun drawn and stayed there for 40 minutes, even after the shooting ended. As it turns out, Cruz pleaded guilty to 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder in 2021 and was sentenced to 34 consecutive life sentences in November. Peterson worked at schools for almost 3 decades before the shooting, including 9 at Marjory Stoneman Douglas. He retired shortly after the shooting, but was fired retroactively. Now, there's no doubt in the minds of many that this man is a coward, but I think there's a couple questions we really need to ask here.
Oh yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows in their right mind this jackass, Scot Peterson, is a coward. Just like the Uvalde cops that stood around for 40 plus minutes are cowards. Because that police chief, people were calling for that police chief to resign or get fired. I think that police chief in Uvalde ended up resigning.
Was Scot Peterson or is any government-funded security officer responsible for protecting someone else's kids? If he doesn't protect the kids when he clearly could have, is that a crime worthy of prison time? Even more broadly, is it a good idea to even turn the minds and bodies of your kids over to the state? And can you reasonably expect a good outcome when a third of your kid's day is spent in a gun-free zone? What do you think? Should Peterson have been acquitted or declared guilty? Guys, if you enjoy this video, maybe you'll enjoy some of my others. Check out my most popular playlist and my other playlists like The Right to Travel. There's a lot of videos that you probably haven't seen that are still very much in play. If you want to, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my...
All right, enough of that, yeah. I can't believe it, yeah. Everybody's, yeah, and I bet you 10 to 1, I bet you the We Back the Blue people are going to sit there and say, Scot Peterson's the hero, just like how they're going to sit there saying, and Uvalde cops are heroes. All right, now we're going to cover a little bit about this dog. You know, the golden retriever Labrador dog that was shot by the cops. The world's scariest, so scary of a Labrador dog. Let's get to it.
Welcome to I Know What You Did Last Shift, where we show everyone why police are the standing army our founding fathers warned us against. Today's video takes us to Lorain, Ohio. I wish I could say how I really feel, uncensored, but it would not meet YouTube guidelines. Last Sunday, July 2nd, 2023, Officer Elliot Palmer, without second guessing or without a care in the world, shot a female golden Labrador mix multiple times as it ran past him. I'm not going to show the video because it's graphic, but the disturbing video link will be in the pinned comment. Officer Palmer said he had no choice but to shoot the dog to stop the threat, as he feared for his safety in the July 2nd incident. Like the coward that he is, Tammy Kearns, 52, of Lorain, Ohio, and her 25-year-old daughter, Melanie, said in an interview that their dog, Dixie, was lovable, playful, sneaky, and mischievous golden Labrador mix.
Labradors are very lovable.
The Kearns said they had to watch their beloved pet bleed to death on the sidewalk in front of their home on Sunday after Dixie was shot multiple times by Officer Elliot Palmer. Tammy said Dixie and 3 other dogs rushed out the door when she was leaving the house that afternoon. As she was wrangling the pups with her daughter, a police officer pulled up in front of her house in the northeast Ohio suburb. And of course, I hate when they do this because it doesn't make a difference. Lorain Police Lieutenant Jacob Moore said that the department's Office of Professional Standards is currently investigating the shooting at roughly...
You know what the problem is? You know how cops always say, oh, it's an ongoing investigation. We have nothing to say. Just like, they're going to investigate their own or their politics or whatnot. And what is their outcome to say? Oh, we conclude that there was no wrongdoing and it was all justifiable. Yeah, because cops got qualified immunity. It means they can do whatever the hell they want.
1 p.m. on July 2nd, LPD officer Elliot Palmer was on patrol when he saw several large dogs roaming at large near a home on the corner of 8th Street and Oberlin Avenue. Palmer said that he exited his patrol vehicle to assess the situation. He said he then ordered a woman who was out with the dogs to get them under control. He said that's when he noticed another female who appeared to be injured with a laceration to her forearm as she attempted to restrain two dogs. The dog instead charged at me, Palmer said in the report. However, the body cam footage shows otherwise and shows Dixie, a female golden lab mix, walk past him. The horrific video is followed by Officer Palmer shooting the dog, who is far away from him, with the dog's back turned multiple times. The coward officer, Elliot Palmer, said in a true fashion of a coward, due to the totality of the circumstances, I feared for my immediate safety. As the dog charged me, I drew my service pistol. And
that's always a coward bootlegger cop move, always sit there and say, oh, I was feared for my life. I was feared for my safety. You know, it's like you get cops that are going to shoot somebody who's holding a walker or a cane or a camera. Oh my God, look, it's a gun. I'm going to have to kill him. I'm feared for my safety. I was feared for my life. Just like, was it last year? I did a story about a guy, 18-year-old young man who was fatally shot because a cop tried to say he was feared for life and safety over what? A water gun.
At this point, the dog was no more than a few feet away from me. I then discharged my service pistol several times at the dog to stop the threat. Immediately, a near dozen people began to run at me, the officer said. I requested assistance over the radio and advised of the situation using my radio. Numerous people began to encircle me and began yelling profanities and insults as they should.
You know what's funny was, you know, the We Back the Blue people are going to sit there and say, oh, it was justifiable that cop shot that dog. And also, I bet I've heard a rumor they're going around and say, oh, those police officers, they should arrest the whole neighborhood. Arrest them all, lock them up. That's what they're saying. And there must have been like 20, 30 people around that neighborhood cursing the cops out.
Good. The Kerns described their heartbreaking account of watching a pet die and that they were terrified. They are calling on the department to remove or at least punish the officer.
Tried to go after my dog. He held the gun still towards me, told me to get away from my dog. She could have been saved after that first shot, but no, he had to continue to shoot her.
A petition has been posted calling for action to be handled regarding the coward Officer Elliot Palmer, who left the scene like the coward that he is, as other pigs arrived. I myself have signed the petition, and so should you. The link will be in the pinned comment description. I'm going to say my final thoughts through these unfortunate but realistic memes, because what I really want to say would get me banned on here. The memes show that cops are cowards with guns. Contact info for the department to address grievances will be posted as well. Let me know what you think about the entire situation. If you have a video of your own you want covered, video submit form is in the description.
Yeah, and this guy was who doing it there. He was talking about, yeah, if you were attack a police dog when a canine, you will go to jail. You will go to jail for assault. But they could pull up a gun and shoot and kill your dog, and they can find justifiable. Like I said, the Back the people, like the Fraud of the Dweebs Network, they were going around sitting there saying, oh, the cops should have locked up the whole neighborhood because those people were harassing. And they were going around and saying, oh, that whole neighborhood was harassing those police officers. And when police officers were trying to do and conduct an investigation, the cops kept saying, get back, get back. Yeah, well, those fucking stupid Fraud Network are losers. All right. I found this yesterday, actually. I'm glad I did. So we're going to get some more information about this. Check it out.
They're trying to wrangle the dogs, and that's when this one breaks free and just kind of starts to approach. Again, this may be a person that doesn't understand or know about dogs that well, but yeah. All right, let's watch this video right now. It's about 4 minutes of body cam footage. It's cut for vulgarity, and it's also cut for the graphic nature of it, but that still does not mean that this is not a graphic video. So my last warning, if something like this is not something that you want to see right now, click off the digital stream. You can watch our coverage tonight on 19 News. But again, this is going to start with no sound. So that was one of the dogs. Now here comes the other dog that ends up being shot. Watch. Now here the audio is going to kick in.
Get back! Get back!
Get me a bunch of cars out here. We got a bunch of people coming out. Get back. Get back.
Why did you do it?
Get back. Okay, your dog charged me. Get back.
How these people seen that? That dog is harmless.
Okay. Ma'am,
No,
I need you
I'm
to get
not.
back. Ma'am, I need you to get back. Oh my God. We're catching her.
I want your name. I want your badge, everything.
Palmer,
Oh my God,
101.
why couldn't you let her?
Everybody get back. Everybody get back. Get back. Get back. Don't walk over that. Okay. Get back. Get back. Get back. Everybody get back. Get back. Okay, I appreciate it. Get back. Get back. Get back. Everybody get back. So get back.
You know what? If it was me, I was, that stupid cop telling everybody get back many times. Say, get back, get back. Like I said, if I had enough brain in me, I was like, you know what? Let's go rogue on this cop. It is what, But yeah, the whole neighborhood came out. The whole neighborhood. And the frauditor Dweeb Network said, oh, the cops should just arrest them all.
Everybody get back. I appreciate it. Everybody get back.
I got burned. Public sidewalk. I got you on camera.
So we have another officer killing another innocent dog. This is like a month from the last one. When are cops going to start getting charged for killing our animals? If we kill a police dog, what is it? Isn't it the same as getting charged as killing an officer?
Yeah, basically.
So why don't they get charged for coming and killing our family members? I can't show the full video because it's pretty graphic.
It is. I see.
But
it's that bad.
How the first dog ran up to him is how the second dog ran up to him. He just trotted up. He wasn't aggressive, or she wasn't aggressive. It was kind of pathetic to see. And then do you hear the way the cop's talking to them? Oh, okay, like it's another day for him.
Yeah, yeah, for that cop, it's just another day in the office. Like he said, he don't care about that neighborhood or about the dogs that belong to a family. All he cares about is for his shift to get over, go home to his family. Yeah, just like and this is the second dog I've seen on video of where a dog is killed. The last one I saw was a couple of months ago about a husky in California that was tased to death and dragged away. Then the cops justify and say, "Oh, the dog is attacking the children and people in the neighborhood." And people in the whole neighborhood said, "No, this dog doesn't attack people. This is the most friendliest husky out there." So this is what cops do. They'll just fucking get away with shit because they got qualified immunity. Then they'll justify why they had to kill your family dog, or why they had to tase your 8-year-old daughter, or they had to arrest your 10-year-old child, shit like that. They'll just make up shit as they go, or they'll make up laws and say, "Well, we're gonna have to arrest you because you're." I say, "Oh, well, you're obstruction, or you're disorderly conduct. We'll send in the public. We can't, or you're filming, you're loitering, or you're wiretapping while filming in public, or taking pictures in public."
This is what he does every day. This is crazy. He should lose his job.
He should have been fired on the spot.
Talking about being transparent because they released the video. That's all they released is the video. Nothing else. That's not
They didn't talk about
transparency.
it. They haven't said nothing about it.
Everybody get back. Everybody get
I got your job, you're about to lose your job. Just pulled up.
If I was one of the people in the neighborhood, I would be saying some pretty nasty shit to this dumb cop. I would. I would probably, I would be saying some words, some choice words that I would be looking back and say, I should have said that. But for the sake of this video, I cannot say it because it will violate the community guidelines for hate speech. So I'll just keep the thoughts in my head.
Of course, they'll go talk and shut the body camera off, whisper to each other, make up a story. This is crazy. Then they're like mad at the people for being upset. Like, what else do you expect? I'd be pissed too. Look at the dogs running right there.
Yeah, dogs are harmless. They're running around the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood loves the dogs like that. And these stupid cops get pissed at the people like that. You know, like that. Then you got these stupid frauder troll networks that they say, oh, we back the blue. Then they're going around saying these cops should arrest the whole neighborhood for harassing them. These people are not harassing the cops. They were showing this displeasure. They shot and killed a family dog. For what? For what? For nothing. And this cop tries to act like gangsta, Mr. Big Macho and shit like that. Of course, the people are going to be pissed off like that. And the frauder dweeb network wants these cops to arrest the whole neighborhood? Fuck off, man. That's a bunch of bullshit.
They gonna shoot it?
These people have every right to be pissed. They have every right to drop F-bombs at the cop.
I'll put a link to the unedited one.
And dropping profanity.
If you want to see it, you can see it. The dog, when it was near him, he shot it once. He could have ended at once.
He didn't even shoot it once. I saw the other video. He shot 3 times. And he wouldn't let anybody render aid to that dog. He just let that dog just bled out and die. And look at this motherfucker. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to take off like a coward.
Like I was saying, though, he didn't need to shoot 4 times. He could have shot once. The dog was literally running away after it realized, like, he's not nice. He's the enemy. It must be nice to get in your car and drive away after you just shoot someone's dog for no reason. Like, another day on the job.
So the officer says that
that's
the dog
exactly what it is.
charged at him. I'm going to play for you.
You know, that's what it is. They don't care if you shoot your dog, kidnap your children, make up shit and arrest you. You know, or they body slam you to the ground, or they beat the shit out of you. To them, it's just they're not in the office. As long as they go home to their family, that's all that matters. And you got the frauder dweeb network. What's the only thing they care about? Oh, the police officer's safety. That's all they care about.
The beginning of the video a couple more times here, so you can decide for yourself if that dog is charging at him. Unsure what the protocol is here. Now, typically, if there's an officer involved shooting, that officer would be placed on leave. Again, we were not told that. We were not specified on that. The shooting itself is under investigation.
Oh, yeah, I remember just a couple weeks ago, the frauder tweet network was sitting there saying Direct G was making death threats to police officers and law enforcement officers. No. Direct D simply said, man, if I have to, I'll smoke out some officers. It's like smoking up some shield. It's like blasting them or suing them. That's what he meant.
The department says that they're releasing this video to be fully transparent. However, we do not know more specifics about the incident itself, why they were called to this location in the first place, and why exactly this happened. I mean, basically, the dogs were kind of running all over the street, it seems, in a panic due to the popping of the fireworks from the 4th of July. There was a little bit of chaos, and some of the dogs accidentally left the home. And then that is when the officers showed up. So basically, we don't know if there was a call. They're not telling us what happened, Lorain police are. So as much as they say that they're going for transparency here, we still don't know a lot about this. We still don't know why exactly that officer arrived on scene, why exactly that officer reacted that way. The dogs were out of the house by accident because they were spooked from the sound of fireworks, again, on July 2nd. So we just do not know a lot of things. We don't know if this officer was put on leave, which is typically what we see when there is an officer-involved shooting. Again, this is with the dog, so the actual rules on this are a little difficult to discern. Yeah, so basically the idea here was that the dogs were kind of in a frenzy. The officer started yelling, and that's what they say spooked them. We can't hear the audio again in that beginning. I didn't cut that out to start. It doesn't kick on for a bit. That's the officer not putting on the audio portion of this. But let's hear again. Let's hear watch again a couple more times the beginning. So you'll see the officer walk up. There's a dog there. Determine for yourself if this is warranted. So not this dog. It'll be the next dog. you see it gets loose, and then, no, as a dog owner, to me, that does not seem like a dog charging, but that's just...
I am jumping at the sound of every firework. I had a breakdown panic attack on my front porch because someone set off a firework down the street. I heard the boom, and all I could remember was the bang, 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 over and over again, hitting my dog as this officer unloaded into her.
Melanie and Tammy Kern's 4 dogs were already on edge Sunday due to the constant crackling of 4th of July fireworks all weekend long. Amidst the chaos, the pups ran outside of their Lorain home on Oberlin Avenue. It was a little before 2 p.m. when Melanie noticed a Lorain police officer pull up.
I thought, hey, this man's gonna help us stop traffic, so if any of our dogs do happen to run in the street.
Her first mistake, thinking the cops were there to actually help. This is usually how people figure it out.
Why? You know, I think a logical person is going to know. If a police show up in a scene like that, they're not here to help you. They're not, they're here to justify themselves. And most of the time they are to make up laws, to make up as many arrests they can, write as many tickets, to fatten their paychecks as well. They're not here to help you. And what is the old saying is, usually when the police shows up, what happened? What shows up on the scene? Quite a slew of guns. It's like a cop shows up on the scene, a gun shows up in the scene.
But sadly, that's not what happened. Melanie says she had gotten a hold of 2 of her dogs, including Dixie, when that officer started yelling.
Dixie is not used to screaming. When she's around people, they all want to play with her or let her lick them and be lovable. Dixie took off, not towards the officer.
You know, there are certain kinds of dogs like that with cats. That's why a lot of people say shouting, yelling at them is not going to do. It's going to be counterproductive like that, because when you yell and shout at dogs or cats, that's counterproductive. And to an animal, they're gonna feel that's bad vibes, and to them that's an attack aggression move. So it's gonna scare them off. They're gonna run away or hide like that. That's why most pet owners know you don't shout or yell or scream at your dog or your cat. It does no good.
Mind you, she was 6 feet away from him, running that way, and she was nowhere near him or charging him as he claimed later on. When he fired on her, she was at the middle of the street.
Melanie says the first bullet hit Dixie in the spine.
She dropped to the ground with a yelp. A car almost hit her, and she had to pull herself back across the street so she would not get hit. He unloaded 3 more bullets into her on the driveway. In the driveway, there was children out. Any of these bullets could have went through my dog and ricocheted. They could have missed my dog and ricocheted and hit a child, a little kid.
What you guys are describing, it doesn't even sound like your dog displayed any kind of aggression.
There was no aggression, nothing. She is one of the most lovable dogs ever possible.
We reached out to the Lorain Police Department for a comment. Police confirmed that an officer used force on a dog. The police chief said the case will be thoroughly investigated by their department as well as outside expert consultants.
I just want justice for my dog. I want this man off the street. I want his firearm removed. I want him in jail for as long as physically possible.
As you know, for many, dogs are part of the family.
Yeah, so that was it. I mean, what do you guys think? I think they killed another person's dog that didn't deserve to die. Her story was off a little bit. The dog was walking towards the cop, I'll give him that, but the dog wasn't aggressive. Tail was up, ears were normal, like, it ran up just like the first dog did. That's why I don't know why he got so scared when the second dog came running over, and it wasn't aggressive. He shot it once.
Labradors.
She changed course, and he shot her 3 times while she was running away. They need to be held accountable, like when we hurt one of their dogs. It's like hurting a police officer. Yet, they're just shooting more and more of our dogs every month.
Yeah, it's like if they're one of their canines came out to bus, or if we bite the dog back, or we start kicking and punching like that, guess what? We go to jail for assault, and that's a felony. but these cops get away with this kind of bullshit, you know. And this cop he probably get suspended, some vacation time. He won't face a courtroom. He won't even face an indictment.
And it's okay. This guy won't get in trouble. Nothing will happen. They want to be transparent, but they won't release any information, just this video showing the cop murdering the dog. It makes no sense. Every time one of these comes out, I get more and more pissed. This is sad, and it's old news. But that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah. Lorain PD, 200 West Erie Avenue, Lorain, Ohio, 44052. Can't find the number, but anyways, I'm out here. My job. Peace out. Really disgusting. Really disgusting.